This is the Cash Considerations Podcast with three guys from Pittsburgh, Philly, and Boston talking sports. God help us all. This is the show. Take it away, Dave.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations Podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 15th. We made it past week one of the NFL. Oh, man, we got 2.5 weeks left, like 17 games left of Major League Baseball. Probably not going to get to talk about it very much, despite the fact that I'm wearing this sweet-ass Texas Rangers hat. College football, we're going to talk about that as well. As always, this is the show. I am Dave Sherapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere. That's at SportsBK Consig on Twitter. I believe the show is at Cash Consid Show on Twitter, but it's also at Cash Considerations on the TikTok, boys. We have a live TikTok account. Very exciting news. Oh, the boys. Yeah, welcome the boys. Carl Haskell, at Carl Haskell, the social media manager, coordinating producer, email guy, and obviously co-host of the show. CH, what is this new set you have working here?
Oh, all right. How you doing, boys? This is the temporary studio.
Okay.
The regular studio is currently under construction and riddled with paint fumes. So I didn't want to say anything stupid like, I don't know, the Packers are going to win by 1 million this week. So I'm up here out of the paint fumes.
Okay. I thought, since the Patriots lost that you kind of dumped the whole Boston background shit, but that's okay. That's fine. What is that? That's
the Edelman picture. I just took down my wife's picture in the dining room and I hung up the Julian Edelman catch from the Super Bowl up here.
Of course you did. That's perfect. All right. That's Carl Haskell. He's at Carl Haskell again on Twitter. Haskall. Dan Newbert, Dan Alexander at Neuby Talks on Twitter, the executive producer of the show, also the co-host of the show. Neuby, how you feeling today? How's things going? You all right, kid?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Usually I have a nice adult beverage ready to go when we're recording the show. Tonight, drinking some tea. Got to be ready to go. So CH is holding me down. He's got our adult beverages. But I will say, I do like that Carl made sure he got at least one photo up there. I respect that. And I love that one that he picks because if you look quick enough, it almost looks like it's the Brandon Graham sack on Tom Brady in Super Bowl 52. If you look quick enough. So that's one of my favorites when he hangs that one up there.
Look really quick.
Yeah, you gotta look really fast. Well, hopefully you can find us on YouTube. We're gonna have Cash Considerations YouTube channel as well. So hopefully if you're not listening to the show, you want to go watch the show. We're all here. I'm in Las Vegas. Newby's outside of Philadelphia. Carl's right outside of Boston. And with us tonight, special guest. This kid and I have hung out, talked. We've been texting. We've been tweeting. We've been doing all this shit. I went on his show. I'm waiting to get an opportunity to come on our show here, boys, tonight. We asked him one time, and would you believe it? He had actually plans that night. He wasn't out betting Nerfys or Yoriffies or whatever he does. We're going to get to all that. Let's welcome him tonight, Trent Attyah. You can find him on Twitter at BookIt with Trent. He's the founder of BookIt HQ and the host of the Attyah Hour. Trent, welcome to the Cash Considerations Podcast, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's about time you let me on the show. It's only time. It was a matter of time.
It was definitely going to happen. Yeah, it was definitely going to happen. But, it finally happened. And we couldn't be happier to have you. So we're going to do the usual thing that we do. We're going to interview Trent. He's got a lot of things to say. He's got a lot of plays. The dude, if you don't follow him on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, please, he's a genius with the social media. Where else can people find you?
TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, BookIt Sports. I'm everywhere.
The kid's everywhere. It's pretty simple. So it's a Trent interview, and then we're going to swing around. We're going to maybe do 3 pitches real quick in baseball because we got a lot of things going on in baseball. Then, of course, we're going to play Laying or Taken. Trent, no pressure, but last week our guest, Ben Scott Stevens, at Ben Scott Stevens on Twitter, he's on Sports Grid. He went 7-1. So, wow. There ain't no pressure, but he's been the best guest appearance in picking games. So, ain't no pressure, but you're going to go some Laying or Taking in college. We're going to go in the gun in pro football. And then hopefully we'll visit Carl's Corner. We had to scrap it last week because it was so busy and such a long show. And then take a minute and out. So, all right, with that all said, Trent Attyah, first question on the Cash Considerations podcast. Where are you from, sir?
I am from Newport Beach, California. That's where I was born and raised. And then I went to TCU, Texas Christian University, go Frogs. Graduated from there in 2020. And,
oh my goodness, this kid is.
That's how we got here.
The kid is. If you look at Carl, Carl's angst. Like he just heard you say graduated from TCU in 2020 and realized the year's 2021, and he just head in hand went down. Before I get on to the college, first of all, did you go to that school in Newport Beach, right on the beach, in between the Newport Pier and the Balboa Pier?
Did I go there? I did not go there. No.
Okay.
I went to for elementary or high school. You talking
elementary or high? It's right there on the beach. Like you get to go on the playground and play basketball on the beach, like Wesley Snipes did up in Santa Monica. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous.
No, literally, that is true. I did not go there though. I did not have the pleasure, but I went to a great elementary school and high school. Goes Corona Del Mar Sea King. Shout out.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very good school. So explain to the people how you would leave goddamn paradise on earth. I mean, Newport Beach is literally one of my favorite places in the world. A beautiful beach. If you haven't been, you got to go. You go and you pick TCU to go to college. Explain, because there's people listening going, wow, this kid's from Newport Beach. First of all, he got to be living the life. I mean, he probably surfs. He probably swims. He's a goddamn lifeguard. He's probably in Baywatch, all this stuff. I mean, and you go to TCU. How the hell did you end up there?
I needed to change the scenery. Honestly, Newport Beach, if you know anything about it, it's as big of a bubble as it gets in terms of living in a city. And I needed something different. And that's why I went to TCU. And you'd be surprised. Half of TCU is from California. They literally call it Texas California University. And there's a ridiculous amount of California kids there. So it just made sense. And I knew I wanted to go there, or at least somewhere in Texas, because that's where my siblings all went, is either Texas or Oklahoma. And so I wanted to go to a big football school. TCU, went there, saw it as my number one school by far. I only applied to two schools, TCU and Baylor, and I did not want to go to Baylor at all. So I was just hoping and praying I got into TCU. Things worked out.
So you said you want to go to a big football school and you picked TCU and Baylor. This explains a lot of things.
In Texas. And I couldn't get into UT. No way.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, this might help explain all of your picks. And when you pick all these things in again, you pick TCU and Baylor for big football schools. In Texas, they're still like number 4 and 5 and the whole thing, but that's okay. That's okay. So did you play sports in high school, Trent?
Of course. I played baseball my whole life, all the way up until senior year of high school.
What position were you?
I was a catcher. I was behind the dish.
Oh, height and weight check for you right now. How tall are you?
I was I'm 5'11", like 230. So pretty big guy, but I could swing the bat. Pretty agile for my size behind the dish as well.
Good hitting catcher. You were a good hitting catcher.
Oh yeah.
Did you call the pitches or did the coach call the pitches?
It depends who's pitching. There was a couple guys that I had that synergy with, where I just knew, and they knew I knew, and so I just was able to ride the momentum. But there were some guys that the coaches had to take the signals on, and just rolled with that.
Okay, all right. So now I understand a little bit more. I never knew the catcher story. So you're the cerebral baseball player, the manager.
You want to know something? What? Something that you absolutely love. Absolutely love. I actually had the yips going into my senior year of high school. I couldn't throw the ball back to the pitcher.
What?
So I had to become a designated hitter the rest of senior year.
Did you ever fix it?
No, never got fixed. To this day, even as Nick Yale, we were trying to play ball.
You can't play catch.
Can't play catch.
If we go to the fucking Field of Dreams in Iowa and I say, Trent, let's have a catch, you can't do it?
I cannot throw a what is the distance from base
60 feet 6 inches.
60 feet. Yeah, no, I can't do it. I could throw from home to second on a dart. No, on a line.
Mental block.
It's ridiculous. It happened one day and I never looked back, and it's a nightmare, absolute nightmare.
This is
And it's
unbelievable.
real.
Can you throw a football?
Yeah, I could throw a football. I could throw anything that's not a baseball 60 feet.
Wow. Okay. That's unbelievable. I did not know that.
It's insane. I can throw from foul pole to foul pole, but I can't throw 60 feet.
Shit. That's unreal. All right. So you go to TCU, you live it up, you do the football stuff and become part of the school and things. What was your major at school?
I was sports broadcasting major. So I always wanted to be, on camera, on TV, talking sports. So that was always the dream. And then, so graduated TCU with a sports broadcasting major, journalism minor.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And then, like the rest of us that had that type of degree, you don't really get to use it right away. What do you end up doing right after graduation?
Yeah. So, it was going into my senior year. I just had an idea for a sports betting app that would centralize the community and connect the community on one platform that allows you to consume content. And I did some research, saw what was out in the market, saw that there was nothing like it. And I asked some of my peers and some of my professors at TCU, this is an idea I had. Would you suggest I pursue it? And my most loyal professors that I had at the time were like, this is actually a really good idea. I think you should definitely, at least give it a go. And so that kind of gave me the green light and started raising money for this idea. And, I pulled some strings with some investors, raised some money, and started developing this app and haven't looked back since.
So you and I first connected. I saw the story where you guys won a contest. Was it like Shark Tank or something where you won the initial thing?
I've done a bunch of these types of pitch competitions. I've won a couple, came in second or third several different times, but didn't win a significant check that really went towards it. But I got investors to come in to essentially get this thing off the ground and get it started. But yeah, no, me, Nick Yale, Big Dave, we've all been, doing these pitch competitions and stuff like that. It's been a great time. It's been an incredible experience and an insane journey.
Are you better the second, third, fourth time? Have you learned even when you don't win, you learn, right? And you get better in these things and you can pitch now probably almost anything, right? Let alone your own idea.
Oh, yes. Every time I pitch, I'm usually every single time the youngest kid in the room with, an idea that, people in the audience are usually like, oh, that sounds interesting, because who doesn't love sports betting, right? And, then ultimately they'll end up giving it to someone who's got a business that's, farther scaled, farther down the line. And I've just learned so much about how to pitch just from my own experiences, but also from others as well.
It's ironic that now you're pitching, but you can't throw a ball 60 feet. I was thinking the irony in all of it is just amazing. So
that is crazy.
So tell the listeners a little bit about where you're at now with BookIt. You started, you've pitched, you got investors, you've built this community. What are you guys doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. We're focused on really just providing a community for sports bettors to come share picks, analysis, and a safe place to just essentially talk sports betting all day, every day. So what's next for BookIt Sports is really just enhancing the product and providing more features for content creators in the space to make a name for themselves. And in addition to that, just scaling the brand of BookIt Sports in general, making content that's relatable to everyday sports bettors that everyone can relate to. And that's why I feel like the BookIt Sports brand and my content alone on TikTok has done so well, is because people really can relate to what I do, because I'm just like everyone else. Even though I'm the founder of a sports betting app, then not a lot of people could say that, but I'm also just like everyone else. I'm currently sweating out Dodgers minus 400 as we speak.
Of course you are. That's right in line with what
I took the run line down.
Run line, of course. Yeah. You didn't lay the big price, you laid the 1.5, and still lay juice. Of course, that's what everybody did tonight on the Dodgers. Can't blame you. They're like 18-3 or something in his starts, so it's fine. Carl, Neuby. Oh no, wait. The last question I have before we get to the guys, and then I'll have one or two more after them, is where are you living right now? Because when we met, you were in the process of getting to Reno. You're in Reno, and now you're maybe in the process of being a neighbor of mine. Which, man, that could be dangerous shit. But what's the process here? Where are you guys physically located right now?
Yeah, no, right now we're currently in Newport Beach, and we're going to Las Vegas here in a couple weeks. Just figuring out some of the logistics, where we're going to end up being and staying. But we're trying to get to Las Vegas as soon as possible. So we will be certainly hitting up the books here very soon.
Oh boy. we did what March Madness together a couple days, and that was so much goddamn fun. It was unbelievable. Between
that was
you,
my favorite moment of the year so far, no doubt.
Was you and Nikki and David and Liv was still there. Like everybody was doing social media. We were screaming at the screens, and then UCLA just lost. God, I wanted to hug Mikey over myself. I was so sad for the kid. He had a big ticket ride and he lost. But CH, what do you got for this kid? You got anything for him?
Well, of course I do. So we talked a little bit about your baseball career, right? And
yeah.
I think we maybe spent too much time on the being able to throw back to the mound. There's got to be something that can offset that. Did you have a game that just stands out in your memory that when you talk to people, you're like, yeah, you know what I did in this one game? I went fill in the blank. What's your best game you ever had?
My first at bat ever in high school was a home run. And this actually came after getting cut my freshman year of high school. I did not make the team. The coach and I just were not the best of friends. He had previous experience with my brother, and they vibed very well. But when I got to high school, I don't know what it was. We just did not vibe right away. And so he ended up cutting me, which was just absolutely foul because there were kids who were literal liabilities playing for this freshman team. And so I took it as just major disrespect. So I went out and got in shape, got my shit together, came back the next season, made the team, first at bat, home run, and it was just a huge middle finger to my coach.
I was gonna follow up with that. Did you say anything to the coach on the way by after you crossed the plate?
I literally just we both made eye contact, and I was just smiling, and then I jumped on home plate in the Prince Fielder, celebration where everyone falls down. It was electric. It was electric.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, that was a Hall of Fame moment in my career for sure.
There you go.
Neuby, what do you got for the kid?
So usually, I'll ask about food, I'll ask about, atmosphere, this, that, and the other thing. But I just find it super interesting because I'm on the cash considerations dais here, quote unquote, the young guy. So the fact that Trent is busting his ass doing all this stuff and he just basically graduated a year ago, the fact you're constantly pitching, everything like that, I would actually find it more interesting to use my one question here on the Cash Considerations podcast and just kind of wonder, with what you do, there's probably so much rejection that you have to face through. There's probably so many different things that people don't see behind the product that you're putting out. So, as someone who's a young person who's already labeled as, maybe entitled or lazy, how do you dispel that part of it? And then also face constant rejection, knocking on doors and getting doors closed in your face. That's got to be tough. How do you keep the upbeat personality that you have?
That is a fantastic question. And, it takes a different breed, honestly, to be an entrepreneur and a content creator at the same time, just because of all the things that do happen behind the scenes, the Social Network movie, it is that, there's so much stuff behind the scenes of making, what is now Facebook and all the ups and downs, roller coaster rides that they went on to get there. It is real, there's so much crazy things, that obviously are not in the public eye, but that I go through every single day. That is just, for a 24-year-old, a lot to handle and a lot to manage. But I mean, I knew what I signed up for when starting this, and that's just part of, being a founder, being the CEO, and starting a business, and in order to be successful, every move that's made is so crucial. And at this stage of my life, it's a lot of pressure, but like I feed off of it and I love it every day.
That's awesome.
So you do all this stuff, and like he's right. You hear all the shit, and then the stuff you don't hear, you see in the comments and all this stuff, but you still keep coming, and it's great. I mean, it is. We talked the first time we talked. I talked to Nikki, then I talked to you, and I was like, yeah, these kids got it. Like the energy is awesome. What is your favorite social media, Trent? Because you've kind of taken it to different levels on different avenues. And, I'm the old guy. I'm trying to learn all the social media shit. I just had to concentrate on Twitter first. Now we're going to branch out. But what is your favorite social media to create content on and kind of interact with people?
Absolutely. I would definitely have to say TikTok without a doubt, just based on the success that I've had on there and how I've been able to get there. It's not me, spending hours producing content and editing all this stuff. It's just coming up with a creative idea that you might feel people could relate to, and it's a story in 15 seconds, or less. And it just allows me to express myself because I know I have relatable stuff that happens to me all the time with bad beats and shit like that, that I know if I just told the story, like it would do well, rather than me just saying like, I just lost $500 on that, Raiders missed field goal. Like, why not just capture that moment real quick? Because I know there's thousands of people who feel the same way. That's literally how I came up with the BookIt Sports app, is that one of my friends lost a bet and had a hilarious reaction to it, punched a hole in the wall, and I didn't know where to post it because Twitter and Instagram, I just didn't want my friends and family to see I'm associating with this type of behavior at the time, because it's still like 2019, 2018, and when sports betting just became legal. But I just, one day, Nick was like, dude, we got to get on TikTok. And I was like, TikTok's for dancing. Like, I don't know anything. Like, how is betting and TikTok go hand in hand? And I started last football season, and I already saw that there was a TikTok account, sports betting TikTok, that was doing really well. And so I was like, okay, there's obviously an audience here. I can tap into it. Right. And so I just started tapping into it, and ultimately all it takes is just one video to go viral. And then you actually start getting a following, and then you can live stream. And the live stream capability is really where I was able to establish a following, because people just loved watching me sweat out bets. So
you're going to have how many followers that get to be able to live stream?
How many followers in my life? I mean, depending on the moment, if it's the ninth inning and Canley Jansen's, on the mound and the Dodgers are up 2 with a guy on third, like I could get 500 people in one, like on the stream right then and there. And that's what's so great, is because the algorithm just like does its thing, and I don't really know how it works, but it's just, if you could tell a nice, relatable, compelling, funny story in 15 seconds or less, like you're going to do well on there. And you're full of them.
We're just trying. We're going to keep trying some shit. We're going to see. How do you say it? Is it Nerfy and Uriffy? Is it the no run first inning and yes run first inning has been phenomenal. You have brought energy to baseball betting for a lot of people. So I'm gonna ask you again. You say it. I'm gonna shut up. What the hell is it for the people? And then how do you say it correctly?
So imagine a Nerf gun, right? Nerf gun. I know you know what that is. And then just add a Y at the end of it. Nerfy.
Oh, it's easy. Nerfy.
It's easy.
Well, how do you say the yes one?
Yerfy. That one is a little tongue twist. Yerfy, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the Yerfies. We're Nerfy house only. Nerfy household only.
We're an over show, so true. I get it, and you're a Nerfy better. All right.
As a matter of fact, we are an over show.
This is an over show, boys.
There it is. We have fans of the show that go around chanting that in sports books.
He does it. He actually tweets the video of him doing it. It's so good. That's Bama Mafia picks on
We're
Twitter.
an over show, boys. Sounds like Bama checking that video. Yeah.
Correct. All right. Last question before we get to some sports and some picks and some shit. So Neuby was a defensive lineman. Okay. Neuby was a badass defensive lineman.
That's fair.
Your bodyguard, your big dude, your guy, David Bellissimo. But he was the stud. He was an all Big 12 player.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have gone to the NFL. I don't know what we were tweeting, texting, talking, and something came up, and I was like, wait, you're gonna do what? You're gonna try to beat David and he's gonna block you? So you did this video, which hopefully we'll be able to find, you'll put out when we retweet the show. And you line up against him wearing that helmet sideways. I mean, you wore the tank top and you tried to sack the quarterback against him. How bad did that shit hurt?
Well, you know why I did it? Ironically, because the damn D-backs beat the Dodgers, who are playing each other right now. But I said if the Dodgers lose to the Diamondbacks, I would try and sack the quarterback against Dave. And what do you know? Of course, the one time the Diamondbacks, I think they were on like that fat losing streak they were on too, and ended it with that win.
The Dodgers were minus 320 that night, and you took them down.
Yes, that's the only reason why they lost, of course. But yeah, they lose. And so we have Dave's like not NFL, TCU helmet in the house. And I had to put that on and go out there, lace up the cleats and give it a go. And I gave it 5 tries and I got pancaked every time. And it was brutal. I was so sore for like 3 days.
That's Trent Attyah. He's at Book It with Trent. You must follow him on all the socials. He's the founder of Book It HQ, the host of the Attyah Hour, which I appeared on. It's so much fun. It's a great show. All the youngins just talking about sports, talking about different things, giving out plays. Great stuff. You got Mikey, you got Nikki, you got Big D, Super J, even making an appearance on there. I absolutely love it. It's been so much fun to see the growth. I can't wait till you guys get here. And then, who knows? The sky's the limit. So follow him again at Book It with Trent. At least that's the Twitter handle. Where do these people find you on TikTok? What is it?
Same username, every platform at Book It with Trent. Make it easy.
Kid's a genius. Very smart. Very smart. All right. Well, let's move on. I'm going to read the Book It Sports read that I've been reading every week on the show. What's better than winning a bet, doing it with your friends? On the Book It Sports app, you can talk about the game, track your action, and buy picks straight from the pros, whether you like college football or professional football, the NFL. Come sweat out your bets with one of the fastest growing communities in sports betting. Start building your following and stand out amongst your friends by downloading Book It Sports today for free on the Apple and Google Play stores. Book It Sports is available for download in all 50 states. So I read that every week. And then I mentioned you, and I mentioned that we should listen to your picks and then bet the other side. So, I mean, I say it every week, every single week, and that's what we do. So there you go. That's Book It Sports.
I love it.
All right. Let's recircle around here. Carl Haskell at Carl Haskell on Twitter. Dan Newbert, Dan Alexander at Neuby Talks on Twitter. The show at Cash Consid Show on Twitter and now TikTok. And I am Dave Sherapan, the sportsbook consigliere at SportsBK Consig on the Twitter. All right. So we ain't got time for this baseball bullshit because y'all don't know, don't care, all this stuff. So the segment's called Bon Dia, Bon Tarde, Bon Noche. It's usually 3 pitches and we're out. I'm just going to say this real quick, and then I'm going to probably ask Trent a question, but I'm hosting the Bettor's Eye on Friday on the MLB Network, co-hosting with Keith Irizarry at Keith Irizarry on Twitter. All you people who use your name for Twitter, that was pretty smart. I can't use my name because the guy Vegas Dave and I have not really done, we can't be the same. So I'm sticking with the BK thing for now. We'll see what happens, but I'll be on there with Keith. We're talking baseball. We're talking picks. We're talking all kind of stuff. What we probably will discuss at some point is Trent's favorite team. Trent, are you a Dodger guy or are you a Newport Beach Angel guy?
I'm an Angel guy, but I love betting on the Dodgers. I'm not betting on the Angels. No way. Angels overs.
Angel overs.
Yes.
Are the Dodgers going to win the division? That's all I need to know from you.
I mean, how many games out are they right now?
They're down, 2.5, Neuby? I believe it's 2.5 games. Let me make sure before we move on. Yeah. I believe
they just need
games.
the Giants to go on a little
2.5 going to tonight.
Squeak out a 3-game losing streak, and they'll be chilling. I think they do win the division, and I saw that they were plus money a couple of weeks ago. Pissed I didn't take them. I don't know what the line is now, but I think they win the division. Their lineup's just way too good. I mean, one of my friends who's a diehard Dodger fan, he was like, we were watching the game, and Corey Seager comes up to bat, and he's like, oh, this is the right man at the dish that we need. And we just kept watching. I'm like, dude, everyone in this lineup is the right guy at the dish that you need. Like, literally, there's not a single flaw in this lineup. Like, every dude that comes up is who you want at the dish, you know?
Yeah. Who's your favorite Angel of all time?
My favorite Angel of all time, easy. Vladimir Guerrero, the OG.
Yeah.
By far.
You're right. You're entirely too young to remember Chuck Finley.
No, I definitely wasn't able to appreciate, their level of play, but I definitely recall Chuck Finley and the OG Angels.
Tim Salmon,
Garrett Anderson, Troy Gloss, the whole squad.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But now are you all about the Ohtani?
Oh yeah. All aboard the Ohtani train. And it's tough. I was actually at the game that Trout was injured at, and he hasn't played since. So that probably shows how
you took down Mike Trout too.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Trent. My God, we got to keep you out of that ballpark until he comes back. Watch the damn games on TV. I mean, I see you go to the Dodger game. They blow ninth inning leads, all kind of shit. Oh my God. All right. Well, that's it for the baseball talk. All right. Before we move on to college football, I just wanted to mention the All Campus store for all your college and pro hats. Check out All Campus on the Ocean City, New Jersey boardwalk. Social media is at All Campus OC on both Instagram and Twitter. You can follow them there, or catch us on the A2D radio podcast every Saturday night, live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. I've appeared on there. Apparently, I'm going to appear on there on the regular, as well as they want to talk to Dan Alexander. Neuby talks about Philadelphia sports.
Oh yeah, A2D is big, man. They actually do all the niche stuff too. They do the union, talk soccer a lot. A2D is awesome on social media. I follow them everywhere.
Well, you're going to be on there very soon, so they need someone to talk about all the Philly stuff. So
I got them.
You'll be on there, Carl. They don't want anybody from Boston. I'm sorry, I can't help you there.
The whole world is sick of us up here.
It's unbelievable. I don't know what it is. But, all right. Let's do some land or take it. Woo! We got college football now. Seriously, Ben Scott Stevens really set the bullshit standard last week with a 7-1. We do 8 games. And it's kind of a sister thing of our 8 in the Box podcast, which Brad Howe at Brad Howe 07 and I do, where we go a deep dive into college football. Right now, it's 8 games. It's probably the 8 best games by competitiveness, big names. So that dropped today. When you listen to the show, you can find 8 in the Box with me and him anywhere you find podcasts, except Apple. Apparently, there's a little bit of a hold up bullshit thing working with Apple right now, but Neuby's on it. So we'll get to that in a second. All right. So what we'll do is I'll start it and I'll go around. Everybody will get 2 chances to lead off, because apparently, Trent, everybody wanted to go after you. So we wanted to hear what you had to say first, and then they were going to put their picks in. I don't know why. I'm just saying that's the shit that there was the request in our little text thread. They said, can I go after Trent? I said, we can all go after Trent sometimes, but not every time. Okay. It's not fair.
I respect it. That's a smart move.
I will start off with this. Michigan State is playing at Miami, Florida. Miami, Florida is 6.5. Trent, we're playing laying or taking. You say you're laying the favorite. You're taking the points with the dog. You got about 8 seconds to 10 seconds to say why. You don't have to say a goddamn thing other than your pick. And we're logging it. You're ready to go. I'm going to go first. Actually, I don't want any pressure. I am taking Michigan State plus 6.5. I think they can win the game. I like the points. You're next. You laying or taking?
I'm taking the points here. I have no confidence in Miami to win by a touchdown in a game where the spread, honestly, I feel like should be -3. I'm taking the points in Michigan State here.
Carl?
I hate Miami. I always pick against Miami.
Yeah.
Give me the points.
Newbie? We can't come out of the gate with our first game as a consensus.
Where's Ben when you need him? Because I'm taking as well. Like Miami, it's simple. Miami is not good enough to be laying a touchdown.
They're not.
My question, Dave, is didn't they just beat App State by like 2 points or something like that?
They didn't cover that.
Give me Sparty getting the points.
We're doomed. We're all doomed. Fuck, we're all doomed. That's all you Sparty people listening. You're done. It's all about the U. Newbie just did the U. That was actually do that again, Newbie, for the people.
Good, right?
Look at that. It's perfect.
I was ready to go.
Nicely framed and everything. Look at
That was nice. Yeah. Game number 2 on laying or taking. We got to go right to the source, right to Trent Attyah. Purdue, Notre Dame, sir. Notre Dame is -7.5. They have looked like shit. Purdue has not. Purdue's getting 7.5 points. You laying or taking here?
I'm going to lay the points here. I think Notre Dame bounces back after an almost atrocious what would have been a loss against Toledo, was it?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it was Toledo.
Yeah, I had -17.5, came nowhere close. Wasn't even a sweat, didn't even need to watch it. But I think they prove themselves next week against Purdue at home. Give me the points. Or not the points, lay the points.
You're laying. You want Notre Dame.
Correct.
All right, fair. Carl.
This one's easy. My ex-wife was going to go to Purdue, so I go against Purdue as often as I can. I'll take Notre Dame.
Boilermakers. It's as good as reason as any. This line is just begging you to take Purdue because of how bad Notre Dame has looked. Has Notre Dame been awful? Sure, but does Purdue rolling a UConn team scare me at all, Dave? No, I'll lay the points with the Fighting Irish.
Okay. You know what I'm doing? I'm pulling a Ben Scott Stevens. I'm taking. That's 3 against 1. I don't think you only have so many lives. And I think Notre Dame used up a couple. I think they win close again or lose the game. I'm rooting for them to lose. I will take the points. Next game, big game, the SEC game of the week. And friend of the show at Bama Mafia Picks will want to dial up, quiet down the mower. I know he's out cutting the grass. Listen to the show. Alabama -14.5 against Florida. Carl, you laying or taking?
Again, this one's easy for me too. I'm going to keep picking Alabama until the Coors Light that is gathering dust in my refrigerator is gone. It just hopefully is some kind of incentive to finish it off. So I'm going to go with Alabama. I'll lay the points.
Pretty easy call. Neuby, are you brave enough to take the points with Florida here?
I'm not brave enough, but I am smart enough to not have any Coors Light in my fridge. Absolutely. But I'm still taking Alabama in this one. It's a huge game for Florida. I worry too huge of a game. Saban's played in way big enough games that I think they'll be ready to roll. I'll lay the points with Bama.
All right. I am also going to lay the points with Bama. Now, we've talked Sharzan. Sharz's play of the day is the Alabama first half, and he bet it last week or the week before, and he won easily at Miami. He's going to keep betting it every single week. I told him it would go 9-3 or better. I think they get there this week. It's 7.5, 8. They cover that. And I'm laying the points again with Alabama here against Florida. I don't think Florida scores enough points to cover the spread. Trent, you're last. Are you going to say Florida plus the points?
Absolutely not. I can't fade Alabama. I think the spread is sketchy. I think Vegas is potentially on some fluke shit that could happen. Could clean house on this, but I'm definitely not fading Bama in this one. I'm laying the points minus 14.5. I think it's a 21-point win. It's a sweat, but they cover.
Next game. Tulane, Ole Miss. Tulane and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 14-point favorite. But more interestingly, this total is like 76.5. The circus music might as well be playing when this game plays. I am taking, in a game with 76.5 points, give me the dog getting 14.
Yeah.
Seems pretty easy. Trent, agree or disagree?
I would have to agree with you here. I would not put my faith in Ole Miss to win by two touchdowns. I'm going to take the points and the dog here in a shootout and the over, but I'm taking the points.
Okay, you like over? You even that big number doesn't scare you. Nothing scares you. What the hell?
It does not scare me.
Nothing scares you. Absolutely. What a beast. CH, what do you got?
Yeah, same thing. High score, big spread. Give me the points.
Newbie?
Why is Ole Miss laying 2 touchdowns? Like, I don't watch as much college football as most people, but I have to be missing something. Give me those sweet ass jerseys. That green with the blue trim, man.
Oh my God.
Tulane getting the points.
Oh God, they're doomed.
They're so nice.
Two consensus
we got
games.
A lot of consensus here.
Oh, this is terrible.
Hey, we were 1-0 in consensus games last week.
Oh, good. Oh, so we broke the streak.
Oh, we
actually
did.
won it.
We did. Yeah, we all took Rutgers last week.
Oh, I feel
Rutgers
better.
Over Syracuse.
Oh, thank
the
God.
The game you busted my balls
better.
about putting on
Let's
the list.
Let's go.
The game you busted my balls about being on the list, we swept.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. All right, I feel much better. Everything just opened up.
There you go.
That's great. All right, next game on the list, Arizona State BYU. Arizona State is a 3.5-point favorite going to BYU after BYU just beat up Utah, won that game for the first time in 9 years. The odds makers are giving them points at home again. I just don't understand it. Whose turn is it first? CH?
Sure, I'll go first.
Is it Trent? I think it's it's Trent's turn. Trent kicks us off. All Arizona State minus 3.5 at BYU. You laying or taking?
First glance, you would think dog at home plus 3.5, surely. Mm-hmm. But I think that this is a trap game. Ooh. And I think Arizona State actually wins and covers outright. 3.5. I'm laying
on the road points. Up in BYU with Arizona
Out-coached.
State.
They will get out-coached in this.
Out-coached, the kid said. Little shot at the BYU coach or little endorsement of Herm Edwards. That's why they play the game.
More so an endorsement of
okay.
Herm Edwards.
All right. That's why they play the game. CH, laying or taking? Arizona State at BYU.
Give me the points. Give me the points. Home dog, I'll take the points.
Okay. Newbie, laying or taking?
You play to win the game and you play to cover the spread. Speaking of Tulane sweet ass jerseys, the Sun Devil logo is one of the coolest, man.
Is it nice?
Trident is fine, but the little like horny devil dude, I'm a big fan of him. ASU laying the points on the road. This is a flat spot for BYU. They had their Super Bowl last week. Give me the Sun Devils.
Okay. Well, it's going to be the old guys against the young guys here with this one. I'm taking the points at home. I think BYU has a chip on their shoulder every game, and there is no letdown spot. They cover the spread, sprinkle some money line on there. They win the game.
Ooh,
that's all.
A little sprinkle.
So I threw them up out of order because this is always the get back game. It's always the last game of the night. It's a goddamn. Is that saying 9:30 Pacific start?
Yep.
What in the hell time is this San Jose State Hawaii game? Holy shit. So San Jose State is playing on the island. They're laying 6.5 points in an ode to our original OG, Matoy Pearson, at these takes on Twitter. He always talked about this game, and I think he's Samoan, Hawaiian. I don't know what he is, but he's got some Polynesian in him. So he always liked the Hawaiian games. Newbie, you're first.
Well, you alluded to it, Dave. One of the best traditions in sports betting is chasing all your losses by blindly playing Hawaii as home dogs. I'm doing it. Rainbow Warriors plus 6.5. Let's get it.
It can't always be that easy, but it ain't
It's
that
not,
true.
but
It's true. I am certainly going to take the points here with Hawaii. It's not even a question. It's not. I mean, like seriously, it's not even a question. Taking Hawaii, Trent. I'm not saying you've been chasing them losses. Sometimes you're pounding to win. Sometimes you're trying to triple up and give it to the books. With this, I know you're on action on this Hawaii game. Are you laying or taking San Jose State at Hawaii?
I mean, I think that would just be outright wrong to lay the points here. But you got think about the East Coasters who are going to have action on this game. They're going to be up till like 4 a.m. sweating out Hawaii plus 6.5. But I'll join them. I'm taking the points plus 6.5 Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Carl, you want to be the party pooper, or are you joining the crowd here? What do you?
Yeah,
think?
you know what? Thank you for not covering our standings so far through the first 2 weeks, as I'm sitting at the bottom looking up. So I'm going to have to go contrarian here and hope that I make up a little ground on you guys. So yeah, I'll lay the points with San Jose State.
It is available on Twitter.
No,
It is available on Twitter. We posted those today. The standings for the lane are taken. We're hanging. We're right in the middle. Someone's 500, one game under, one game over. And then, the guests are kicking our ass because they come on one time and they probably listen to all of our shit, pick opposite, and they're good. Like that's what Ben Stevens did last week. It worked out for him. All right. There's one game left. One game left. It is the game of the week. I moved it along in the rundown because I had to talk about it last because we got a little extra minute to talk about the Penn State Nittany Lions at home against the Auburn Tigers. By the way, if you haven't heard, it's going to be that whiteout thing where everybody starts Friday night, gets all day Saturday to get the Yinglings. There certainly ain't no Coors Light up at Beaver Stadium. And maybe the Auburn fans are drinking it. They probably bringing it. I would guess they were. But Penn State in a whiteout situation is -6. I'm going to go last. I'm going to go right to our guest first to finish this segment. Trent, Penn State -6. Are you laying or taking?
I mean, after I watched that video that you retweeted yesterday, I feel like it's a no-brainer. I'm going to lay the points here. I got to.
It's unbelievable. I mean, them kids are going to go shit their pants.
I know.
At least in the beginning.
But I mean, it is pretty intriguing at that +6 for Auburn.
It's a great number.
Considering they just won their last game by what, like 79 or
like
something
100.
crazy. Yeah.
Like a fucking 100.
They could be legit, but I mean, you just can't take. I'm taking the -6.
Carl, voice of reason, the Batman of the group, the literally just the guy that kind of looks at everything a little bit different. Tell me why I shouldn't be saying absolute lay the price here, or are you agreeing laying it?
I can't tell you why. I watched some college highlights today, historical highlights about introductions and stuff that goes on in the stadiums. And I saw a whiteout clip. It was about 6 minutes long with the PSU chant and all that. I don't know what their record is in whiteout games.
It's pretty good.
But if they ever lose one of these games, they should be shamed out of the school. I'll lay the points.
Newby, you've been to Penn State.
I've been to a whiteout game.
You were there?
Oh, I've been to a whiteout game.
It's amazing, is it not?
I mean, the fucking pom poms going. The stadium literally shakes. It's a whiteout at Beaver Stadium. I know that Auburn just has just been blowing people out, but this is their first real game. It was Akron and Alabama State we beat. Yeah. And Franklin, I've been one of the biggest James Franklin haters because of his record against top-ranked teams. Dude, Franklin seems different this year. Franklin seems pissed off. This is a chance for the boys to put a stamp on it Give me PSU minus the 6. It makes me a little nervous. I don't think I would bet this one because I'm already going to be sweating the game, and I'm not really even a big Penn State guy. This is going to be awesome. Whiteout, fans back in the stands. There's just going to be some serious juice there. So for show purposes, I'll lay it, but I would be staying away from this game. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I want to bet it so bad, and I can't because
Don't do it.
numbers. The number's right. The number's right. This is the number. If it's 4, you're laying it. If it's 7, you're taking it. At 6, you're just like, man, just like Trent said, there's intrigue at 6 because it's an SEC team out of conference, boys. We all know what that means. That means money line. That means they're going to win. They're definitely going to cover. So everything in my power says that Auburn plus 6 is the bet. But this is laying or taking, and this is our show. I'm not fucking saying taking. I'm saying laying. So we got another consensus play. That's fine. Penn State. I can't wait to watch the game. Follow along on the socials. We'll be tweeting about that. All right. That's college football. We're moving right along. I think we're right on pace. We're doing good. Are you okay to take us to that place, Dan Alexander / Newbert at Neuby Talks? We got a place we got to go. It's called In the Gun.
I've been resting the voice all day for the most rootin', football segment this side of the Mississippi. It's In the Gun on the Cash Considerations podcast. What we do, same kind of vibe. It's laying, it's taken. We look at different games on the board this week, and new for this week, since we're burning the midnight oil with our boy Trent, we got a new segment we're debuting called One Side, One Prop, One Total. That's how we'll wrap the In the Gun segment. So we're going to run down some games here. We're going to do it 6-shooter style. 6 of the biggest games in the NFL this week. And we'll start up north. It's the Jets hosting the road favorite Patriots. -6 the Patriots are, according to our Cash Considerations official lines here. I'm going to go to Trent first on this one. Patriots -6 at the Jets. Where are you looking, my man?
I mean, there's several home dogs this week, and this is one of my favorite ones because I just don't think the Patriots are good enough to cover that 6-point spread. I think that this is going to be a close one. They're playing at Jets. I'm taking Jets +6 confidently because I think it's going to be a close one. I think they win by last-second field goal.
Oh, man, that'll get some shares on TikTok. Dave, what are you thinking? Jets taking on the Patriots.
I'm shocked.
I love it.
I'm surprised.
Big Dave over here is disgusted.
I can't believe it. And I think the Patriots kicked their ass.
Wow.
Like, I think this is a double-digit win. I'm surprised the line started as low as it did. It's at 6 now. I'll lay it up to 7. I'm laying.
All right, CH, now that you're done puking after Trent's handicap there, what are you thinking when you're looking at this game, man?
Doesn't he know who he's talking to?
You don't got the Boston shit behind you. He didn't know. He didn't know.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. So
he doesn't know.
I got to say that I was very impressed with what I was the happiest with a loss that I have been in a very long time. I'm very impressed with the new quarterback, the guy that took over for Brady at quarterback.
Bam!
Well done.
Got it in
Well
under
done.
the hour. Tom Brady, again, mentioned for the 400th episode in a row. Go ahead. Continue.
After one game, I'm pretty impressed with the new quarterback. I think this is going to be a 10-point win. I will lay the points here.
I don't know if it's the quote unquote young guy connection. I'm taking the points here as well. I know like this is, it actually makes me sick, like even saying it. But the thing is, I agree with Carl. I was impressed with what I saw with Mac Jones. I was equally as impressed with the dude who looks 12 years old in Zach Wilson. I know that there was plenty to not like about the Jets, but he was actually distributing the ball decently, way better than anything that I personally saw from Sam Darnold in that same kind of offense. And I think I'm sold on Mac Jones, but I'm just not quite sold on the Patriots bouncing back just quite yet. I think they're going to start rolling towards the end of the season, but 6 points with a home dog, I think I'm going to do the contrarian pick too, and I'm going to go with the Jets. And no, it doesn't feel good, Carl, saying it. So I apologize, but actually you're probably happy that you hear me picking against the Patriots, because then they have a better shot more likely than not. Even when we cut the games down from 8 to 6, I'm going to find a way to talk about Carson Wentz. It's the Rams -4 on the road, taking on the Colts. Carl, since I disappointed you, you've never looked more upset with me. I'll go to you first on this one. Rams taking on the Colts. Rams -4. Your thoughts, my brother?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna play totally into it, and I'm going with the Colts, and I think they win the game outright. But I'll take the points, but I think they win the game outright.
I think there's something to that, Dave. What are you thinking? Rams going to the Colts. Colts lose as a home dog last week. Not only did they lose, they get rolled up on by the Seahawks. What are you going to the counter with here?
So this number moved because it opened too low against the Seahawks. The Seahawks and the Rams are very similar, the way they're laid out, the same division, blah, 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 blah. And the number is overreaction. I mean, this is week 2, typically, all right, move it. Rams kicked the Bears' ass, so it's got to be more. No, it doesn't. All of that being said, I really want to take the home dog, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to take the Rams. I think they win the game by a touchdown. Hopefully your boy Wentz lives to fight another day. We get 2 games in before he gets hurt. Still give me the Rams. Stafford looks pretty good. I'm going to be getting me a Rams hat very soon.
Oh, I love the new Rams unis, man. That yellow pops. And that's by Stadium. That's a modern marvel. Yeah. Trent, where are you going? Rams -4 at the Colts.
My lock super goat whale play of the week just so happens to be the Rams -3.5.
Oh,
why? Because yes,
the number.
Yes, you know what my last week super goat whale play was? Seahawks -3.5 against the Colts on the road. Now you're bringing in a better team into Indianapolis with a better defense and a quarterback who is slinging it right now, and receivers who are playing great. Run game's figuring it out. Rams -3.5 is an absolute lock, and I'm laying the points here.
Laying the 4. Like the haters are already coming out. Wentz is awful. Nobody wants to block for him. It's going to look exactly like it did last year in Philly. He completed 66% of his passes last week, had 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 102 quarterback rating. The loss wasn't as bad as it looked. There was also some injuries for the Colts. I'm riding the Wentz wagon until the wheels fall off. I'm riding with them as a home dog again. Colts +4 is the pick for me here. We move to where it's always. What's up, Carl?
It sounds exactly like a guy who's got a Wentz ticket for MVP.
Full disclosure, just like the investment guys, when you have a stock position, you have to say it. I'm picking the Colts, but yes, I have a Wentz to win the MVP award.
Yeah, but you just say it really quickly. That's like the fine print. It's like, yeah, I had the Colts, but you also notice, like, I'm building in the narrative too. Yes, they lost, but the stats weren't that bad. He's still MVP caliber. I'm gonna try it every week on the show until they're 0-6, and then I probably got to find a different angle there. We'll go to where it is always sunny. And that's not California. No, that is Philadelphia. The 49ers, 3.5-point favorites on the road, taking on the Eagles. I'll go last on this one. If you're a PA guy, the other side of PA, I'll throw it your way. What are you thinking about this one, Mr. Consigliere?
Oh, we got Norm listening to the show. We got Nate listening to the show. We got a lot of people listening to the show in Philadelphia. I'm taking the Birds. I mean, I don't know exactly what to take away from them beating Atlanta the way they did, because Atlanta looks like they may be one of the worst teams in the league.
Yep.
But we get San Francisco on back-to-back road games. I still don't know if they went all the way back to San Francisco. A lot of times they don't. East. They did stay out east.
And they've been good in that spot.
They have been very good, but hopefully they're not 3.5 good. Like, hopefully they're just 3 good. Cover, take the points. Eagles, keep it close, maybe win the game.
Ooh, a little money line sprinkle. Trent, what do you think in Eagles, Niners, 3.5-point favorites, the San Francisco side?
This game screams trap game to me as well, but I'm going to be a fool. I'm going to lay the points here and take the Niners and ride with them. I think that they're coming off kind of a shaky ending to that last game they had with the Lions. Horrible backdoor cover. But I think that they make a statement in Philadelphia. I think they prove themselves with the defense and Jimmy G slinging it back there. I think they cover the 3.5.
Carl, this is your chance to get back on me and shit all over my team. What are you thinking when the 49ers are coming to Philly?
You know, I've gone back and forth on this game more than any that I have. I look at how the 49ers only beat probably the worst team in the league by 8 points, right? How is that even possible? So how do I say they're going to go into Philadelphia and cover 3.5? I guess I just did. They're going to go into Philadelphia and cover the 3.5.
I think, do I want to believe, guys, in what we saw last week? I do. Are the Eagles a great home dog? Yeah, that they are, but 1 week does not a franchise make. Sure, the Niners' injuries concern me a little bit, but fading the Eagles worked out pretty well for me last week. Not in the standings, not in our picks, but Niners, welcome to the Neuby mush.
Let's
taking
go.
The Niners, laying the points. I will say, if you're going to bet this one and you like the Niners, I would wait maybe till game day, because the same people who made Jalen Hurts the number 2 selling jersey in the NFL, over 500% increase in Hurts jerseys sold in 1 week alone. That same conglomerate of people are going to be hammering the Eagles. You can probably get this without the hook, maybe even at a 2.5 come game day morning. So I would wait to bet this one. But, what do you think about that line move? Anyway, it moves a full point, maybe the half, and there might even be some threes out there now. I haven't looked, but
it's good. Before we get three's the bottom. It ain't going through 3.
Okay.
There'll be some people looking to dump a house on San Francisco if it goes to 2.5. So, 3's the bottom. And it's probably going to get there before Friday. There's already a couple threes, a couple heavy threes, 3 minus 20. So it's already there for the most part. And we're recording Wednesday night. So there you go. Play 3.
I might do the square ass teaser and use the 6-point teaser and take the Eagles up the way that I might attack this game, so I could still bet it. I know it's fucking square as hell, but
does that count for the Newbie mush? Is that
I think if you tease it counteracts it.
Okay,
there's
all right.
Kind of juju that gets in there.
All right, good.
Well, speaking of Newbie mush, let's stick in Pennsylvania. The Raiders are visiting the Steelers. Weird line, -5.5. I haven't bat leadoff yet, so I'll go here and then I'll throw it down to our esteemed guest, Trent. If the Raiders lost on Monday night, like they probably should have, this line is at least 6.5, right? It's going to be at least a point higher. Is Pittsburgh back? I don't know, but I do know that the Raiders are still a poorly coached team with some serious deficiency in talent on the defensive side of the ball. If this was 6.5, I would maybe feel a little weird about it. I'll lay the 5.5 with the Steelers. Trent, what are you thinking?
I'm shockingly going to be on the other side of this here. I'm going to take the Raiders plus 5.5. I'm going to take the points just because I'm not sold on Pittsburgh in that offense. I'm really not. And I think that the Raiders could come out and surprise a lot of people in this one. Give me the 5.5.
All right. How about that? What say you, Dave? You were kind of incredulous there. Actually, no, I'm going to save you for last. You'll get the last take on Pittsburgh. Carl, what are you thinking? 5.5 Steelers favorites.
Don't like this game. Don't like this number. But most of all, I do not like the Raiders. I said it last week. I really don't think Gruden makes it through.
I'm drinking out.
As you hold up the Raiders cup. I still don't think Gruden makes it through the season. I just don't see it. I'm going to lay the points.
All right, Dave, Steelers, I'm better than any of us do. Am I weird to be like, holy shit, Ben Roethlisberger looked decent last week? Like, is Pittsburgh back, Dave?
They're not back. They're far from it.
Okay.
In my opinion, they stole that game against Buffalo, and this number was higher until the Raiders won. The first number that I saw was 6.5, and it's come down. It's because somehow the Raiders won that game. Still can't figure out how. I think it was obviously the turnovers. Steelers turn the ball over again, they're going to lose again. I mean, just like the Ravens did. But the Steelers defense is not back, but it's close. I hate the game. I hate the number 2. I am going to lay it only because the game's in Pittsburgh and we got that West Coast team going east. You'll hear about it if you haven't heard about it yet. Apparently it's a thing, and everybody that does content tells you about it. It's a West Coast team playing an early start back east. They don't do well. Pittsburgh laying the points.
I feel like that's like one of the most like overblown narratives.
Oh.
I gotta like actually crunch the numbers on it, but you do hear that every time, and every time people say it, they act like it's the first time anybody's ever heard it, and it's like, no, we hear that every fucking game. There's a West Coast team playing an East Coast team.
I did actually look at this going into last week, and I'm pretty sure that West Coast teams going east last year not only were over 500, but also covered more than over 500.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the one that's automatic is the Seahawks. When the Seahawks go east and they're starting early, they are like it's like a 12-something run. It is unreal. All right, I'm going to our Cali boy on this one. The Cowboys are visiting the Chargers. Chargers are 3-point favorites. Trent, I'll let you bat lead off on this one. The LA Chargers, are they covering against the boys?
Are you going to the game?
I'm not going to the game, unfortunately. I wish I should be, but I'm gonna take the boys in this one. However, I was gonna bet it. I love the 3.5 earlier today before I found out that D-Law broke his foot. Now I'm reconsidering for actual wagers, but for this, I absolutely love the Cowboys +3 here. I think they win outright.
Win outright against the Chargers. All right. CH, what say you? You think the Cowboys win an outright on the road against Herbert? I hate when people say it like his name's Herbert, I think. Does he pronounce it Herbert?
I don't even think so. I don't know, but I'll get to that when we get to my prop in a little bit. I can tell you that I am all aboard the Dak and Cooper train. They looked so in sync on Thursday night. Like if I was still doing DFS, I would be stacking those two guys all over the place. Give me the boys. I'll take the points, but I think they win it outright, just like Trent.
Ooh, the bounce back spot. Dave, are you buying the zigzag narrative too?
God damn it. I was going to, and now everybody else did. Now I feel like I should pull the Ben Scott Stevens and completely fade it. I always go against, I just know in the book, everybody bets because the guy's hurt. They all bet the Chargers, and then they don't cover. They cover like 1 out of 10. So now that it's at 3.5 and it's 3.5 for our purposes, I don't want to change my bet at the window. I was coming with the Chargers. I'm going to stick with the Chargers and lay the bad number. I'm laying -3.5. I don't like it at all. This game's going over. Look at the total. They may score 100 in this game.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, in both defenses, I think the Chargers defense, like the narrative says that they're all that great, but they're really not. Now, I thought I was going to get to pull the Ben Scott Stevens. I was liking when everyone was going boys because for me, I watch this team every single week. I try and see the whole entire game if I can, because I like to keep my friends close, my enemies closer. No team looks better when losing than the Cowboys. It's just an absolute fact. And just like Trent kind of said, now you lose DeMarcus Lawrence to a pass rush that already couldn't even breathe on Tom Brady last week. No. Keep passing 60 times on Dak's jacked up Latissimus Dorsey, Brainiac McCarthy, and see how it ends up working for you, man. Cowboys fans gonna be saltier than Jerry Jones's Egg McMuffin after this game, boys. I'm laying the points with the Chargers. How about that, David?
That was really good. There was a couple references in there. I don't even know what you called that body part, but
that was Latin.
Dorsey.
Were you an anatomy major? Where'd you come up with that?
My dad's a gynecologist for
fair. Right. All right, there you go.
It's a whole different part of the body. All right. Before I risk saying anything else stupid, Chiefs taking on the Ravens. Final game here in our 6-shooter in the gun segment. And then we'll debut our side total prop before we wrap things up here on an episode. Chiefs are -3.5 point favorites. They're visiting the Ravens. I'll bat lead off on this one, and then I'm throwing it your way, Dave. The Ravens look bad, man. There's no way that game should have even went to overtime, let alone ended with the Raiders coming out with the home win. The narrative's going to be all about Lamar and company bouncing back. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Give me Andy Reid and the Chiefs and their 11-1 straight up record in their last 12 on the road to take care of business on Sunday night. Chiefs -3.5 to play for me. David, am I crazy for laying the bad number on the road against a pretty darn good home team?
Nope. This is what people do. I've been sitting in the book for a couple of years now, and this is the first year that I'm not. Well, no, last year I didn't either, but you sit there and you take bets on the Chiefs, and you're like, yeah, I'm punishing myself. I'm sitting here rooting against the Chiefs. I'm going to do it again. I can't get away from the book. I'm out of the book, but the book just still pulls me back in. I'm going to take the points with the Ravens. I fucking hate it. And it's going to be hard to stomach and watch, but this game may have 100 points scored in it too. The Ravens defense definitely very questionable. They should have won that game twice. They didn't. They bounced back. You just said it. I'll buy it. Taking the points with the Ravens.
Dude, when they can't play man, when they have injury problems and they have to play zone,
done.
Yeah.
A lot of open spots out there.
Yeah, for our side, our props, our totals, find all the props that you can play for Chiefs receivers, overs, receptions, yards, lay them all. Trent, what are you thinking? A little Chiefs Ravens action should be a decent game. I'm hoping. What are you thinking as far as the 3.5 point spread, though, my man?
No, I'm have to agree with you here. I think the Ravens looked horrific last week, and I was actually on the Raiders +4. And that was a roller coaster of a sweat. And I'm all for fading the Ravens again. You know, even though they are the preseason goats, I don't know why they can't figure it out in the regular season. And they just looked so bad against the Raiders team that looked even worse. In the first half, they couldn't even snap the ball correctly. They were fumbling all over the place. And then somehow miraculously Raiders come back and win that game. I'm taking the GOAT and Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce on my fantasy team. Give me the 3.5.
Ooh, I like it. CH, what are you thinking? Chiefs, Ravens.
My internet must be acting up again. I thought I just heard GOAT and Pat Mahomes in the same sentence. Do you see this picture back here? Come on, dude. I hate to say it, but I do agree with Kansas City in this game. Kansas City, though, is starting to scare me with these spreads.
Agreed.
The whole second half of last year, and now they started off with Cleveland last week. It's a Milton Berle win, and Neuby, you may not get that reference. Dave, you might, and I'll tell that story at some point down the road. This probably isn't the right time to do it. Dave's laughing, so I think he knows what it is. I think Kansas City covers the 3.5. I'll go with KC.
How many times can they get down in the first half, guys? Like, seriously, they get down in the first half. They're an in-game dream. You just bet them when they get down and they come back and win. But
what do we think? Ravens first half? I mean, they cashed it last week. Go Ravens first half and then hit the Chiefs while they're down money line.
There you go.
That's the way to attack it right there. There you go. All right. So we got our Sunday night plans already done. All right. We'll debut this and we'll get rolling here so we can get the folks out of here. New segment this week, prop, side, total. I got a new little music bed for you guys. I think you're going to like this. Here it goes. It goes a little something like this. Beautiful cash considerations, listeners. It's time for one total, one side, and one prize. It took me so fucking long to do. You don't even know. It was a whole afternoon. My parents were like, what the hell is going on down there? All right, side, totals, props. This was Carl's idea, and that was his request. He didn't want to hear me singing it, but he got it anyways. So, Carl, I love this idea for this segment, so I'm going to let you go first. Give us all three of your plays, my man.
I feel like we have to. I feel like we have to do a read for Newby's Pubies over here. The musical act does our intro.
So good.
So I've said for almost a year of doing the show that I don't bet the Patriots. This week, I've already bet the Patriots. I got them early in the week because I didn't like that number, but I'm still going to go with them. I like them minus the 6. That's going to be my stone cold, super duper goat, whale, shark, dolphin, amoeba play. So I'm going with the Patriots minus the 6. I think that this New Orleans Carolina game is going to be like 97 points. I don't like what Carolina brings defensively. And I think New Orleans is going to score a lot of points again. So this is over 45. I like New Orleans, Carolina over 45. And I'm going to ride it for the second week in a row. I said it in my Take a Minute last week since we didn't get to do this segment. I'm going to take Justin, whatever his name is, Herbert, a bear, over half an interception. He threw one last week. I got it at plus 110. I'm going to take it again this week at plus 112 for him to throw a pick. I always like my props to be plus money. I don't like taking the easy ones, and that's what I'm going with. So New England -6, New Orleans, Carolina over 45, and Justin, whatever his name is, to throw at least one pick at plus 112.
And my fantasy team with Herbert is my quarterback, hopefully not cashing that prop, but it's only -2 points. So as long as he throws a couple touchdowns, not the end of the world. All right, you're our esteemed guest, Trent. You got a side, a total, a prop that you're looking at this week?
Absolutely. You already know my super goat whale play, Rams -3.5, all over it. Love it in Indianapolis. All over that one. My total is going to be the over in that Cowboys game. I think that's going to be a shootout. I think that's going to go over 55. I'm seeing the line is currently at right now. And then my prop, definitely got to go Thursday night, Washington football team, Heineke's under in pass attempts. I got to give a shout out to my boy taking the points for this play. I love it. I think that's way too many pass attempts for a second string QB. Those are the three.
I love it. Well, Dave, so earlier when we were talking about this segment, you were kind of like, give me an example of a prop. I don't know if you were looking for like a free prop play or if you were just fucking with me, but what are you thinking? Maybe you have a side and total. Maybe you have a prop as well. And no, it's not like a shingle to like prop something up. It's like a player prop. So you were a bookmaker for a long time, but they don't do this foo-foo shit in Vegas. So you know what I mean?
I just wanted to know where to look. I phrased the question wrong because I looked at FanDuel. They're not up yet. And then you said DraftKings and they're up. So it took me 2 seconds to find the prop that I want.
Gotcha.
Side, I was going to pick New England. Carl comes out of retirement to pick New England. There's no fucking way I'm putting New England as my side with the side game. So my side is going to be, it was going to be the Rams. And then the super goat over here, Trent, just mushed that motherfucker.
Your third best pick.
So now I'm like scrambling. I'm like, I got off the New England when he said it. Then I went right to the Rams and then he said it. So now I'm batting third. So now I got to do this. I got to take the damn Bears. The Bears -2.5. I don't understand the line move. I think they're setting this thing up. I think they're taking the Bengals to drive it down and then they're going to pound the Bears. And it makes no sense, but it's the Red Rifle revenge game. He's playing against this team. I love the angle. I love the Bears. I'm taking the Bears -2.5 as my side. My total, I need my fucking head examined taking an under in the NFL. I've been talking about friends don't let friends bet the under. It's one of those catchphrases on Twitter that's been getting around along with nobody knows shit. Well, apparently I must not know shit because I keep picking unders when I pick these goddamn games. And now we got a segment every week to talk about picking a total. And I can get aggravated with this. Denver, Jacksonville under. Listen, Jacksonville's terrible. They just lost to Houston. The first place AFC South, Houston Texans. And they didn't score shit. Now they're playing Denver, who maybe has the top 5 defense in the NFL. They ain't going to score shit again. Denver's going to run the ball, win another road game, and go home 2-0. Makes a lot of sense. We'll see. 46, 45.5. We'll go under 45.5 is the number that I see right now. That's my total. And my prop. Now, again, I told you I was going to pick New England. I think New England kicks the Jets' ass this week. But I can't pick it as my side because Carl did it. So I'm going to pick a prop. It's Mac Jones. It's a new era. It's not Tom Brady. It's Mac time. Mac the knife. We're going to get that drop in there on Neuby's board. Passing yards over 244.5. It's the kids coming out party on the road, smack the Jets over 244.5. How do you do, Neuby?
How about that? That's professional presentation
Not
and
bad.
always the best lids in the fucking game. I actually want the Steelers to win this week because I want that bucket hat coming back, my man. I got an Eagles bucket hat here somewhere that I'm going to have to whip out.
It's probably on the moose head. Is it on the
you're
moose
probably
head?
right. Yeah, the deer head down here in the Buckhead Studios. No, he's got a Go Birds hat. He's rocking. All right, so my side in this one, you guys are probably just going to shut my microphone off. Luckily, I'm the producer. Laying doubles in the NFL is hard. Nobody wants to bet the Falcons after what we saw last week. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bet the Falcons. 13 is a lot of points for a divisional opponent. And I know that they looked horrible. They looked dead in the water. And those are the teams I love betting on in week 2. I find it hard to believe they can look as awful as they did last week. They're also 4-1 straight up in their last 5 road games. I know it's a new head coach, so maybe that doesn't mean shit. But those 5-1 games are actually against Tampa Bay. Divisional opponents get up. Doubles are too much in any divisional game. Do I think the Falcons win? Hell no. But I think they can keep it within 2 touchdowns. Falcons plus 13 is my side I'm going with.
Who's the quarterback at Tampa Bay?
You know who he is. I don't even need to say. It is the actual GOAT. You know, I want Pat Mahomes to take that mantle, but he's not quite there yet. He has a couple more Super Bowls he's got to win before he can contend. Yeah. He almost can't even count it. Yeah, I was about to say, can't even count it on one.
I don't count the last one.
So the total for me, guys, I am like Dave. I fucking hate playing unders. So what am I going to do? I'm going to play an under in my own team's game. The Philadelphia San Francisco over under, it opened up at 46.5. And now it's at 50.5 on DraftKings. Who's going to run the ball in San Francisco? Everybody's picking up Elijah Mitchell. I know. Okay. He was the big fantasy waiver wire addition of the week, but the Eagles defense is always better at home. And while I'd like to think that the Eagles are going to be firing on all cylinders again, I've watched this team my whole entire life. Last week, as a matter of fact, was the first time they have scored over 30 points since 2019. I'm going to fade the line move, boys. I'm going to go under the 50.5 and in the Philadelphia San Francisco game. And then finally, my prop, one that I love, my super GOAT whale max play of the week. It's Joey Mixed Drinks Mixin'. My buddies and I, whenever we're making mixed drinks, we just say, yo, give me a Mixin', because we all love Mixin' as our fantasy running backs. Over 63.5 rushing yards. This number, guys, seems insanely low to me for a Bears team who just lost their starting nose tackle. They just gave up 70 rushing yards to Darrell Henderson on not that many carries. Improved offensive line for the Bengals. When Mixon is healthy, I think he's one of the best bell cows in the league, just coming off 127 yards last week. That was on about 30 carries. He even gets half of those carries against this defense. I think he's going over the 63.5. So with a low number, that is my prop. Joey Mixon over, which brings us to a close here in the gun, the most rootin', tootin' football segment this side of the Mississippi. There we go, Dave. Sending it back your way, my man, as we are running into the wee hours of the night here on the East Coast.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, we are. Good job. Again, I like the new drop. 1 total, 1 side, 1 prop. I thought you were going to call it different order, but that's okay.
I did. I fucked it up. I'm the
I
don't even know the own order of my fucking bits that we work up, and I don't even know the own order.
I got it written down as something else.
Yeah. I made the specific text to Dave to be like, hey, make sure you refer to it in this order, because in the song, and then I intro the bit and I do it in the wrong fucking order.
All right. I just want to make sure. I was like, did I write it down wrong? Did I hear it wrong? All right. I just wanted to make sure. It's all good. It's a fun thing. And it'll be something else we can keep track of, because everybody likes to keep track of the picks and, see where they go. So hopefully Trent does well, because he put out a lot of picks right there. And you can follow along on Twitter, to see Trent's real picks and all the other shit that he got going on. So before we get to all of that, let's take a minute. We're going to skip Carl's Corner again. Carl's Corner is there. We just can't get there. Because we're trying to keep it, the show to a certain
We're getting there
number.
next week.
Yeah,
we're getting there next week. He's going to get in the lab and have the best fucking Carl's Corner idea of all time. So there's a little pressure for you, Carl.
It's going to be incredible. All right, Neuby. Well, you've done a tremendous job producing the show, as always. And, you mustered up the tea tonight to get the throat going. You got to finish out strong. One more segment. It's Take a Minute. Dan Newbert. He's Dan Alexander on Twitter. He's at Neuby Talks, and he's Neuby to everybody, all the people that have been on the show and all of you listening all over the world, which, by the way, did you see? We got a bunch of listens in a lot of international countries the last 2 weeks. I don't know if Ben Scott Steven has family over in
Saskatchewan,
Australia, and Germany. There's all kind of places just popped up this last 2 weeks.
Zimbabwe.
So thank you for listening to the show. Yeah, Zimbabwe. Who's listening in Africa? Seriously, what are they talking about? I don't know. Anyhow, Dan Newbert, your turn to take a minute. Starts in 3, 2, 1.
So since Trent's like an entrepreneur, self business, he probably doesn't have to do like the whole job interview process. But some people out there who have done it. I don't know if you guys have ran into this specifically, but have you ever gotten like that link where you have to take those personality tests?
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is the point of the personality test? Like, you guys, like, even just this hour, the listeners of this podcast know there ain't no test that can tell you my fucking personality. Like, it's undoable. They're stupid. They take forever. None of the options even in there are even like a cohesive thought that anyone would actually think. So any HR professionals out there who are listening, just do the damn interview and stop making people take fucking cosmopolitan quizzes that tell you absolutely nothing just to get to the first interview and then go with a different candidate anyways. They take like 40 minutes to fill out. I cannot stand the personality tests. I think they're stupid. I would rather have them like have me put on a mood ring or that thing that like Scientologists do where like they hold the grips and it tells them they're midichlorians or whatever. I don't understand it. Forget this shit. Personality tests need to go out the window, Dave. That is my take a minute.
Like every week, CH, we learn something new about the kid, except he don't take the personality test.
And I don't want to chew into my minute, but just so you know, my wife is actually a talent acquisition professional, and she's in charge of
do away with those. Tell her do away with those.
I actually interviewed for a job once where I had to take the Wonderlic test, the same one the quarterbacks take.
Wow. How'd you do?
Yeah, I fucking aced it.
Let's
Like,
go.
I'm pretty sure after taking that test, I could start for like 18 out of the 32 teams in the league.
Oh, I love it. Well, if you remember the movie Miracle, I would be Jim Craig. I'm not taking the fucking test, Herb. I'm not taking the fucking
There you go.
test.
You just took it.
There we go. Me and Neuby, the Leos up in the group, just say that no test for us. All right. So Trent, that's a little picture, a little window into what you got coming up next. But we got to go right to CH. Your Take a Minute segment, sir. Your social media manager, coordinating producer, and email guy. I forgot, if you ever have any questions or want to try to get on the show or email the show, you send an email to cashconsidshow@gmail.com. We coordinated a contest that way, and Ringo won the contest. He got the ticket on the White Sox to win the World Series. If they get to the World Series, Ringo's going to be on the show. He's already nervous about it. Send us a DM. Thank you. Email the show. All right, Carl, your Take a Minute segment at Carl Haskell on Twitter, HASCALL. Your Take a Minute segment starts in 3, 2, 1.
So I've got two things here, and I'm going to go as quick as I can.
Yes,
First
sir.
of all, I apologize for my internet issues over the last couple of weeks. Some of you may have actually heard something like me saying that the Packers were going to win by 1 million points last week. I'm sure it was an internet thing, and it had nothing to do with what was really going on. And I want to thank Bama Mafia for setting up the GoFundMe to upgrade my internet last week. You know it's a loyal listener when he's willing to set up a GoFundMe so that I can get better internet. Hopefully I'm not having any problems and you guys aren't laughing because my internet is fucking up right now as I'm in the middle of this.
Looks great.
Great. Secondly, people of the world, big companies of the world, can you do us a favor and stop upgrading shit? It's perfectly fine the way it is right now. Apple, what the actual fuck? I can't find my podcasts anymore. They don't download, they don't upload, they don't show up at all. I got to go find them every day. It's a pain in my balls. I've got a very nice, you guys saw it. My wife has a very nice vehicle that I drove down to Philadelphia to meet with you guys.
Yeah.
You know what's stupid about this car? It doesn't have the stick. It's got the stick, right? But you don't pull it back to go into reverse and again to go to neutral. You know what you do to go forward? You pull the fucking stick backwards. You know how you go backwards? You push it forwards. What the actual fuck is that? In case you're wondering, the way I'm going to die is I'm going to start pulling out into the traffic and I'm going to realize, oh shit, I can't. And I'm going to go backwards, but I'm going to really go forwards. And I'm going to get hit by a fucking cement truck. Thanks a lot to the Bavarian Motorworks Company. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.
That's there you go. Carl Haskell had Carl Haskell on Twitter, and not a big fan of the go forward pushback.
Very incredible made vehicles.
Yep. All right, Trent. Thanks for hanging with us. This has been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. We'll tweet it out. We'll get hopefully you'll add a few followers and hopefully download the BookIt Sports app. It's really easy. It's a lot of fun. And if we could just follow along with you on there, it's worth it alone. But there's other content creators and opportunities to get in touch with people who gamble, who have fun, and do both. Whether you win or lose, again, we talk about it all the time on here. The picks don't really matter. I mean, when you're rolling, it's good. But when you're not, you understand, and it's all about being in the game. All right, sir. You have an opportunity to say whatever you want, Mr. Entrepreneur, Mr. Newport Beach Kid, Mr. Super Goat Whale Bullshit Catcher, Johnny Bench, whatever you got. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure. It's about time I made it onto the show. Thank you for finally giving me the invite and the blessings to make the appearance. It was a great time. I just want to shout out what we've seen and how we've seen the sports betting community come together and evolve over the last couple of years on Twitter, on other platforms, on BookIt Sports, on really anywhere, TikTok. I mean, it's crazy just with the legalization to, taking it to a more social approach to now it's a household thing. You got every sports network referencing gambling lines and such, and you've got an entire community of people that look up to us, rely on us every day for content, and it's just been an incredible 2 years I've been involved in it. I can't wait to see what happens next in the space and what the industry ends up looking like 5-10 years from now. So I'm just grateful to be a part of it, and it's been so much fun, and I'm looking forward to what's next.
Oh, excellent work, sir. Very, very nice little take a minute there. Very CEO like. That was very good, Mr. CEO. Yeah, hashtag CEO Trent at BookIt with Trent on Twitter and all socials. That would be Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere else you want to find Trent. All right, boys, we're wrapping it up. My take a minute segment starts right now. First of all, quick shout out to my Uncle Victor, who is my dad, Big E's father, and my only uncle in my whole life. My dad was a twin. My mom was an only child. We lost a lot of touch when things went bad with my dad, and he lives 25 miles away from me, maybe 20 miles away. And for a long time, we didn't see each other because things were said, things were done. And, we were both two very stubborn men watching the guy that was our guy, go downhill health-wise. And we reconnected after my stroke. He was one of the first people that I said, fuck, man, Uncle V lives fucking 20 minutes away and I haven't seen him in 8 years. I'm going to fucking call him. And I did. And spoke to him today. He's going to have brain surgery on Tuesday. He cannot walk. He's in a wheelchair. I just saw him a month and a half ago. We spent an afternoon together at Kylie's softball game. And it was great. Hugged each other, started crying, just like, man, I miss you. I miss you too. So that was the call this afternoon. And I was like, man, I just looked up and said to my dad, who, you guys kind of got to see in that Chicago Sun-Times article that was out, we're pretty close and still are. And I was like, shit, I got like 3 hours of shows to do. I got all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to go see him. So I'm going to go see him this weekend and maybe watch a Steeler game with him and just hang out. I don't know what's going to happen on Tuesday. It doesn't sound good. But by the end of the phone call, he felt better and so did I. We even got to joke about, at one point I asked him, can you wipe your own ass right now? He said, I'm wearing a diaper, Dave, because I can't control it, and I know you wiped your dad's ass and you took care of him and you did a lot of stuff that you didn't ask to do. You just did. So it's just another one of those reminders, man, that we're all kind of doing stuff and we're all in different places, but like these sports and these things bring us together. And Sunday, week 1 of the NFL, Jeff Dawson was in town from Boston. And I'm like, what are you doing? I got to do a show in the morning, but I'm picking your ass up and we're going to go hang out. He's like, where are we going? I said, I don't know yet. Well, the guy calls and says, we're going to meet at the Green Valley Ranch in the VIP area. So we go, and like little kids, we show up first. And I'm like, well, they said we're in the VIP. I'll just walk in the VIP like I own it. I've been there before. I don't give a shit. I know the guy got the reservation. So I walk in and sit down. And Jeff says, what are you doing? I said, well, I asked the bartender. He didn't know nothing about it. I asked the cocktail waitress. She didn't know nothing about it. I asked the kid at the podium, letting people in. He didn't know nothing about it. Nobody knew anything about where we were sitting under the group name we were in. So I said, watch this. We're going to sit here and somebody's going to come up and tell us to leave. Because I got the Steeler bucket hat on, T-shirt and shorts, and we're just like, fuck it. We're going. Sit down. Less than 2 minutes. Guy comes up, taps me on the shoulder. Hey, man, you guys got to go. You got to get out of here. I said, oh, hold on. He's about 6'3", shaved head, bald guy, big dude. I said, excuse me, we're sitting here. We're got seats. And he said, no, you don't. You got to go get these seats reserved. So we're the group. Here's the name. Can you go check? Because we're supposed to sit here. We just don't know where. I was going to sit in the booths, but I knew you'd kick me out of there first. So I sat in the carousel. And he's like, hold on 1 second, sir. I'll be right back. Goes to the back of the sports book. Within 2 minutes, here comes Tom with his shirt on, dress shirt. From behind the counter, his name tag said Tom. Said, hey, guys, come on over here. I apologize. You're in the special area. And walks us over to this VIP area that's glassed off, walled off, and you need a key lock code to get in. I said, hey, man, thank you. I appreciate it. I turned to the big guy, security guy, and he goes, hey, I'm sorry. I said, no, I'm sorry. I said, I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I just knew we were supposed to be here. So I appreciate it. And, have a good day. He's like, oh, no problem. Lets us in. Tom gives us the whole spiel that you got all the TVs you want. You got the drinks, all you want. Everything's taken care of. Thank you. Walks out. Jeff says, how do you do it? That guy wanted to kick your ass and take you outside 5 minutes ago. This guy, Tom, came up and kissed your ass. Couldn't wait to bring us over here, and you fist bumped the security guard. I said, yep, I know. That's what we do. Because sometimes nobody knows shit. He didn't know who I was. He didn't know who Jeff was. And we had a blast. So for the boys and my Uncle V, good vibes coming, brother. Good vibes coming. Dan Newbert at Neuby Talks on Twitter. Carl Haskell at Carl Haskell on Twitter. And Trent Attyah at Book It with Trent on Twitter and all the other socials. I am Dave Sharapan, the Sportsbook Consigliere on Twitter at SportsBK Consig. Follow the show, Cash Considerations. It's at Cash Consid Show on Twitter and on YouTube as well. Enjoy the show. Watch it on YouTube. Give us a bump. Give us a like. We'll talk to you guys next week.